Hello guys, my name is Eren Taskioglu, or Eren Tasjola, however you'd like to pronounce it. I'll be walking you through how I've started building my Windows lab, and I will complete it. On my Proxmox server, I'm building a virtualized network. We will have my LAN. We are here in the 10.27.27.0 network with a 24 subnet mask. We have my pfSense router here, which provides DHCP and DNS forwarding. This connects to a switch, so we will name that switch 1. We connect to that via Ethernet, and then this is where things get a bit interesting. R1 connects to switch 1, which then connects to my Proxmox server, so I will just do this here. Proxmox uses virtual bridges, so the virtual bridges kind of act as like a switch. We have the Ethernet port on the Proxmox server, which connects to the switch, and this will then translate to the virtual bridge. So the virtual bridge will be VMBR0. The Ethernet is kind of connected to this virtual bridge, and then this virtual bridge will then connect to services running on the server. For example, let's say we have a LXC container here, and I will do one more VM. So virtual machine. This virtual bridge kind of acts like a switch, connecting into services on the Proxmox server, containers to provide it network access. This is our current setup right now. So what I'll do is I will set up pfSense as our router / firewall, and then I will connect it to the VMBRO. After that is I'm going to create another virtual bridge that is empty, so it's like an empty switch. VMBRO is like set up to this router and this the 10.27.27.0 network. So we will be introducing another virtual bridge. So VMBR1 will connect to the pfSense virtual machine, and so will VMBRO. I will just have to mount one of them separately. On pfSense, I will configure the two sides. You configure the WAN port and then the LAN port. VMBRO will be set up as WAN, and VMBRO will be set up as WAN, and VMBR1 will be set up as LAN, the wide area network, and this will be the local area network. And I can then configure this becomes in a sense, a separate virtual network. It's a segmented network, should I say. 192.168.10.0/26 for 64 hosts. The Windows server, let's call that data center 01, will be set up to connect to this virtual bridge. I'm going to be setting up a window host, PC01, and that will also connect to VMBR1. From this point, I will, on the Windows server, the Active Directory, DHCP, and DNS will be set up. The PC01 will connect into the domain set on the Windows server, and it will also look to the Windows server for IP allocation and DNS resolution. The IP allocation and the DNS resolution will not be done using pfSense, but instead the Windows server. I think we kind of got like a decent picture of what's going to be going on here. It's a kind of double NAT situation going on, to where a virtual network will have to go through to network address translations. The services running within the 10.27.27.0 network are reachable by the 192.168.10 network, but you cannot reach the 192.168.10 network through the 10.27.27.0, which means complete isolation. Though you can set up a routing protocol, a static route to find this local area network. What you would start off by is going into your node, and you would have to go to network. You would create a Linux bridge. You would leave it empty because, as we said, we want it to be like an empty switch. I've already created the router. We can see that we have gone to add a network device, and then from here selected VMBR2. VMBR2 is what I wrote down here is VMBR1, so VMBR2, and I've configured it to 192.168.10.0. The WAN port gets its IP via DHCP from the router 1, which is also running pfSense. I create a static mapping for the DHCP for the pfSense over here. It automatically gets 10.27.27.3, 10.27.27.3 from here, and over here it is 192.168, 10.1. As you can see, 24, 26. To touch on how I can access services and the 10.27.27.0 network, I'll ping 10.27.27.1. There we go. And let's try 8. That's all up and running. Let's log in. The Windows server, nothing's been set up on it just yet. I don't even think it has network access because the drivers have not been set up. Google wants our data, so Microsoft cancel. As you can see, there's 0 network access. Okay, so what I'm going to do, one thing that I have to do for the Windows is add the CD DVD drive and then ISO image. Local ISO image, you would have to and load the drivers. You would have to manually load the drivers onto the Windows machine so it can either detect the hard disk or network components. So to Device Manager, take a look at that Ethernet controller, as you can see. Update driver, browse my computer for files. We are going to go to browse. We are going to go to the attached CD DVD drive. We're going to go to net KVM. This is Windows Server 2025. So I'm going to go to 2025 and AMD64. Going to next that, red hat that Ethernet adapter has been identified. No internet access, but it has found the virtualized Ethernet port. Now we are going to go to IP assignment. The DHCP was turned off on the pfSense. So I'm going to give this an IP of 192.168.10. Let's say 5. So 5. And subnet mask 255.255.192. The gateway set up as 192.168.10.1 to the gateway, but 192.168.10. Let's say 10.10. Make it easier. 10.10. 10.10 as the DNS server. DNS service will run this server. It seems that we are getting to the router, but it's not. We're not getting out of the router. I'm going to try and get to the bottom of why I'm not getting no internet service. I think it's to do with the gateway set on the LAN interface of pfSense. No, I don't want the DHCP server. Press enter to continue. Ping 192.168.10.1. All good. We'll try to ping. There we go. Okay, so we should have internet access. Ping google.com. Okay, that's because DNS hasn't been set up. So we have internet access now. We're going to go to local server. We are going to manage, add roles and features. Before you begin, role-based feature, we are selecting this. Should we change the name? Let's change the name beforehand. Okay, so the server has rebooted. Let's do halt delete DC01. Now manage, add roles and features before you begin. Role-based features, we will be using DC01. We will do ADDS, add features, DHCP, and DNS. That's all I will be setting up for today. Install. Now it will be installing the things that we need to set up: Active Directory, domain services, DNS, the DNS service, and DHCP service. Complete. We'll close that. DNS Manager, DHCP. We'll set up DHCP, complete DHCP configuration, DHCP Manager, DC01, IPv4. We will add a new scope. Start IP address, we will do 192.168.10. Do the 62, we can't use the last one. IP address that I want to exclude, we'll do 10. What am I doing? 10. 192.168.10.1. 10.10. Add, we will exclude that IP address range. We'll do 8 days. Yes, I want to configure these options now. Yes, I want to activate the scope now. Finish. Okay. We currently have DHCP up and running. We've got DNS up and running. Now let's start to configure Active Directory. We will add a new forest. The root domain, let's just call it win.lab. So password. We don't need a DNS delegation. As for older systems, we're going to keep it default. Paths, we will go review our options. Windows domain name win.lab. Verify prerequisite. The domain controller operation. Prerequisites checks. Pass successfully. Click install to begin. Bing bang bosh. After Active Directory was set up, our Windows rebooted, and we can see our Active Directory has been configured as we see Win. Now we have Active Directory, the domain set up, and we will then jump to our Windows host. You can't actually join a name on Windows 11 Home, so I'll be setting up Windows 11 Pro. This was also done on the Windows server, where you load the VirtIO as a CD DVD, locate the driver to show our hardware that we've allocated for this virtual machine. So we've gone to Windows 11 AMD 64. For Windows 2025 server, you'd go to 2K25, or Windows 2022 2K22. So yes, let's install that. Okay, we got 32 gigs. Install, keep nothing. I will be back when this is done. Let's connect you to a network. Install the driver. We will go to VirtIO, we will go to NetKVM, and we will find Windows 11 AMD. Just select the folder, and it will want to connect me to a network. Okay, we are back after a bunch of troubleshooting, but thankfully we have something like this. What did I do? DHCP Manager. Here. DNS. And from here, we would go to managed authorized servers, and our server was not authorized. So after authorizing, restarting the DHCP server, we have internet access. Alright. We are now in the Windows host, and then we'll go to advanced system settings, change domain win.lab. Welcome to the win.lab domain. We'll click new organizational unit. Let's say we create users 1. Okay. Groups. New organizational unit. We'll create another one. Workstations. We will also create servers. So computers, we have PC01. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to workstations. We're going to go to groups, and then what we'll do is we will create new group name. We'll name it finance users, HR users, and we'll create a final one for IT admins, global and security tab. We're gonna create some users. We'll put new user Charlie, Charlie.user user. Next, we'll just do password never expires. But obviously, if you're administering this in an organization, you'll be that user must change the password at next logo. So then we can go to add to group. We can put HR users, Alison HR users, check name, and we'll add her in. Bob user, add to group, and we'll add to finance users. Add to finance users, check name, finance users. And for Charlie, we'll add Charlie to add group, IT admins. Okay, now if we go to the Windows host, we'll say other user, alice.user. As you can see, we are logging into Alice user. Hello. Just confirm that we are not John and that we are not administrator. Alice.user. Who am I / groups? The one that we were looking for is the one that we set, which is HR users. Okay. So now we have person, we have asset, we have group, Alice, group, asset, which could be a folder, which could be a database, which could be anything. Okay, so instead of doing Alice to asset, what we're doing is we're doing Alice to group, which in this context is HR, and HR will be linked to asset. Let's say folder. We'll create a shares folder here. New shares. We'll create some HR folder. We will go to properties, sharing. We'll go to advanced sharing. Share this folder. Permissions. And then we will add HR, users, check names. Okay, HR, add change, and full control, no, apply, and we'll go to security. And as we can see, we have no HR users, so we are going to add HR users, and check name, highlight it, yep. HR users, read and execute, modify, that should be fine. So now to test the file share, and then we'll do /HR, as we can see here. Okay, working on it, folder is empty. I'm starting to get a bit tired now. I think that after I've demonstrated